But yes, it's definitely the game. You have to play the game. You have to stay on code, and that's another thing. This whole being on code. There's a racial on code, and then there's like a gender on code. If
And
we
that
want to
was a
talk about it,
political on code.
and that was a
Yes.
political on code,
That's a
especially if
whole
you
nother
were
episode. All the on
exact.
codes. Yeah.
Yep. So if you're off code in any way, shape, or form, if anyone gets wind of it, and the thing about it is nobody can necessarily fire you, but people can advise you. They can, shut opportunities, keep opportunities away from you.
Gatekeep.
Um, gatekeep
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And so, and even the whole thing with family and friends, even outside of the office too, though, it's like to me, it's just weird to me how people like this whole like who you vote for. I mean, I do believe that it's a private thing. You don't have to tell anyone who you vote for.
Right.
But at the same time, me knowing, say if you voted for Trump. Now we've been talking for a very long time. Now all of a
Yes.
sudden, let's just say hypothetically, I learned that you vote for Trump. And now I'm just like, oh my God, like I'm just losing it because I can't no longer respect Lauren, right? Your name's is it Lauren?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now I can't respect Lauren anymore. To me, that's crazy because guess what? We just sat here for over 2 hours and had a great conversation. Now I learned that you vote for somebody who maybe I didn't vote for. Now all of a sudden I have to lose all respect for you. Like,
Yes.
why is that? I don't like that because I feel
And,
like again that goes back to my other point of even if you did vote for Trump, it doesn't necessarily mean you believe 100% of things about Trump because that's
mm-hmm.
impossible. You don't even know Trump. You can never know exactly everything he's going to do, and you can never know all the policies he's going to present 3 years from now. You know what I mean? That represents maybe a few points that it doesn't even mean you like him. You might just think
Yeah.
that he might be the better leader, or maybe when it comes to whatever your personal issues are, maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
immigration, maybe you feel like maybe someone who lost a job because it was given to someone illegal or whatever.
Yeah.
You might be voting because of those very specific things. So that's another thing going back to Black women taking this personal is that all of a sudden now you got to cut off everybody. Now you got to delete all these people. You got to go on Facebook, unfriend people. Why? Because guess what? All of these people, you're not going to know how people really think anyway. Just
Nope.
you knowing one aspect of somebody, which is how they voted, that doesn't really tell you a whole lot about that person. To me,
Mm-mm.
that's oversimplifying humans because that is one thing. That is one. Do you realize as a human, we're so complex and we're made of so many different things about us. Everything from, yes, our political views to, how we feel, to our spiritual views, to our
Mm-hmm.
emotions, to, physically, we might have mental health issues. There's so many other things that we can connect on. So
Yes.
why are you literally denouncing people for this one thing, which is Republican or Democrat or Trump or Kamala? To me, I think that's insane. And I
Yep.
know
It
some
is.
people, they disagree with me because they're like, well, no, because if you voted for Trump, that means that you support X, Y, and Z, or you're against X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, so what? Like, and like, what does that say about me morally? I don't feel like that has any bearing on my morals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And it's
But yeah.
politics. And I saw a video or a clip of Joy Reid on MSNBC. She had a doctor on, like a psychologist from Yale, I believe. I forgot her name. Can't think of her name off the top of my head. But the psychologist, Joy Reid, was like, what do you say to the people that if they family voted for Trump, and Trump was against legal immigration,
I
or
think I saw
yeah,
that.
and Trump is
Yeah.
against this and Trump is against that? What do you say to those people? This psychologist is told the people that voted for Trump and your family don't go to family functions. You might have a college kid that usually come home for Thanksgiving, come home for Christmas, come home for New Year's, come home for whatever, holiday that's towards the end of the year. Looking forward to come home to see their family. Your suggestion is don't be around your family because they voted a certain way. Now, seasonal depression is real. People get depressed around season, I guess, like Christmas and all that stuff in the wintertime because of numerous reasons. They may not have money for gifts. They may not, they're not outside as much. They're not getting as much sun as no more. It's so dark outside. All these different things can make people depressed around the Christmas time. And for you to suggest not to see your family, not to see familiar faces, to see people you grew up with because of the way that person voted is crazy. It's so insane. And that's what you suggested. And that's how some people are taking it so personal that they would suggest people to stay away from their families. You want to break up families after somebody voted a different way. You don't win like that. And it's a crash out mentality.
Totally. And it's a very immature, in my opinion, and emotionally intelligent. Like, we need to use emotional intelligence because because again, okay, fine, you completely cut, your uncle and your auntie off because of whatever
Mm-hmm.
they voted for Trump. But guess what? This best friend that you have, who you think that she's so closely aligned with how you feel, you don't know. Even if she did vote for Kamala, you don't know why she did that. Maybe it was
Yep.
because of, she just doesn't know anything about Kamala, and she's like, I'm just gonna go. So everybody is not a conscious voter. Some people just go and vote, and because it says Democrat, that's what they fill in
Yes.
on the ballot. She didn't. A lot of people don't even look into the issues. So,
Mm-mm.
okay, would you rather have somebody that actually looked into the issues and voted based on that, and that's why they chose Trump, or somebody who mindlessly chose Kamala, doesn't know anything about her or what she stands for? All they know is that she's an AKA, and that's why they voted. But you would rather
Yeah.
be cool with that person? Like, that's kind of twisted.
That's
So
how it is. And people would rather be cool with those people. Like that same woman that's gonna cut off her family is still cool with the girl who slept with her boyfriend and had a baby by her boyfriend. That's how like I'm okay with you having a whole child with my man, but I'm not okay because you voted the way
right,
I don't see fit.
right.
Yeah.
That is, to me, so emotionally unintelligent.
And emotionally
That's just,
immature.
and emotionally immature.
Yep.
Yep. And I think that that's what we're seeing a lot of, is these reactions, these responses. Like, if people really sit back and think about it, because even if you look at some of Kamala's issues, I'm like, do y'all even identify with any of this stuff? Like, I mean, even with the abortion thing, is like, are you trying to, I mean, what personal connection? I mean, granted, some people do have a personal connection to that, and they may feel like,
Yeah.
but I just would love to know, what out of all her issues, which one are you crying about? Or are you crying about, not about the issues, but, to your point, about what she represents, which is
The
identity
representation.
politics. And if you're crying about identity politics, then that's actually not real politics.
Mm-mm.
So really, you shouldn't be crying.
Nope.
Because you're not crying over the policies. You're not crying over, anything. What are you crying because, oh, now I can't get the, what was it called, the housing voucher, or whatever it was, the first time home buyers,
Mm-hmm.
25,000 or whatever she was. No, you're not crying over that. You're actually crying because you just wanted to see a Black woman who doesn't identify as a Black woman as president. And that's
Exactly.
identity politics.
Yep.
And that's the same thing that everybody's saying that they don't vote based on, but that's not true, because that's the reason
Mm-hmm.
why everybody's crying.
Yep.
So,
Now,